Hello, I'm Philippe from Sinrumbo. In this video I will give you a tour of my camper, show you how it's built, what choices I made, the different techniques I used to make it, and hopefully you'll get something valuable out of this. Some ideas for your own project, things to consider. There is already an older video, a few years have passed, and I've made a few modifications, a few improvements. It's time for an updated video. So the purpose for me was to have a vehicle that is small, discreet, but with four-wheel drive capabilities. I wanted to be able to sleep inside, cook, basically have a small motor home, but something that can be used as a daily driver as well. Even though it's not designed to stay in one place for long periods of time, it's meant to explore and be on the move pretty much every day. I still wanted to have a vehicle that allows me to do some computer editing and stuff like that if the weather's bad, so be completely sheltered and self-contained. I opted for a four-wheel drive pickup truck with a fiberglass shell on top of the bed. This one has a raised roof, 25 centimeters, so a little less than a foot, which allows us to be seated inside comfortably with a bit of headroom. So this shell has a little bit of insulation inside, which I put in myself. I insulated part of the bed as well, so we're well protected from rain, from wind. We have a 6 degrees Celsius difference between inside and outside. One thing I'd like to mention is that I didn't drill any holes at all in the body, so there's no electrical plug on the outside or water drain or anything. For safety, I modified the locking system of this window here. It used to lock only on both sides just a little bit, so I will show you in a second. There's a third locking point here in the center. So to close the tailgate, just grab the strap and pull. Make sure nothing is stuck. There are two holes, one in the bracket and one in the handle, that allows us to put a padlock in it and lock for the night if we want to. The way you see the camper now is the driving mode, but as well sleeping mode. The mattresses are in place as they are at night. Basically, there are two benches that are used as storage, one on each side, and between those two benches is room for our legs when we're seated, and also storage. So for example, I have my camera bag here handy, but at the back we can have two big plastic storage boxes with clothes and whatever. So I'll show you this in more detail later. So before we move too far inside, we have this stainless steel plate here, which we use for cooking. We put the propane stove here on the side, and then we have a surface here for hot pans and cutting stuff and so on. Here at the back, we have the electrical plug to connect the camper to shore power. Power comes in here. There's a set of fuse breakers here. and that feeds the system. Here we keep toilet paper and a few things that for quick access. And for cooking outside, we also have a water tap that's fed from the tank inside. To this water tap, we can connect a shower wand, so it's convenient to, rinse your feet at night, wash your hair, that sort of thing. And of course, we have a fire extinguisher. To make the best use of the space available, I designed the interior with a 3D software. I logged every item in a spreadsheet to keep track of the weight and to make sure that the vehicle would remain well below the maximum gross weight. All the heavy items like home battery, fridge, water tank were placed near the cab to keep the center of gravity near the middle of the vehicle. The fiberglass shell was insulated and carpeted. The construction is all plywood, screwed and glued together and to the plywood floor. Then the plywood was painted. Now I'll take out the seat cushions and we can start inside. We'll start from this end here. This is the chemical toilet. The toilet can be used as you see the vehicle now, so even if we're on a busy parking lot, we can use the toilet. We just pull the shades and it doesn't have to come out until it needs to be emptied. It's a marine type toilet, so it's meant for boats. It never leaked or anything, so quite recommended for this kind of purpose. So next to the toilet, we have the first storage bin. So each bin was designed to receive one of these plastic storage bins, which are super convenient because they keep the gear dust free. So we have several. We use them for clothes, for food, and something I should show you again. Very basic construction, just plywood. Some of the corners are reinforced with pieces of wood, but everything is screwed and glued with carpenter's glue. And none of the cabinets have moved in the last 3 years. There's no cracks, nothing came loose. So even though it's very basic, it actually has been quite reliable. This section here is where we keep food, pots and pans. There's actually quite a lot of space underneath the fridge here. So we have a couple of plastic boxes where we keep, cutlery, plates, bowls, all that good stuff. In this section here is the support for the table, and here is our 2-burner propane stove. We can either leave it here as it is now and cook inside and have the other person sitting at the table, or we move it outside to the tailgate. So we have a 220-volt compressor fridge, 45 liters. It's a basic home fridge, but it works quite well actually. It's pretty silent at night, and 45 liters is plenty to keep fruits, vegetables, and cold drinks. So it's powered by 1500 watt inverter. So now we come to the little sink. So it's very basic, there's no drain. It's just a plastic little thing that catches the water. We can use it here inside or outside. I added a 6-minute timer to the water pump. After 6 minutes, it just just powers off no matter what. So there's a switch on the side here that activates the pump. There's an LED light over the sink. So here you can see the 20-liter water jug, and then above here you can see on the left side the water pump. The T I was telling you about that feeds the water tap by the tailgate. Now we have this bottom section here, which is the electrical section. In this box are all the contactors that do the automatic switching. As soon as I plug the truck into shore power, it switches automatically. I'll do a separate video in the future on the electrical system in this vehicle. So when I said the electrical system works from 3 sources, one is the engine battery and the alternator when we are driving. When we stop, it automatically switches to the home battery and the 1500 watt inverter. And if I plug the vehicle to shore power, as I said, then it switches to 220 volts. And when it's on shore power, there is here a Black & Decker charger that recharges the home battery from the shore power. This red jerry can is our drinking water reserve, so 10 liters. So there are 2 more storage bins here. This one's got a variety of things, nothing too exciting. Electric heater when we need one. At the bottom there's a set of tire chains. And then the last bin is extension cords to plug in the truck to shore power, and another of those plastic bins with winter clothes that stays in the truck all the time. We have power outlets to charge cameras and laptop. The table is easy to put together thanks to the marine base. So this is what the setup looks like when the table is in place. There's room for 2, either face to face, or we often eat side by side, one on each side of the table leg. And there's plenty of space around. We can read if we want to. I can do some editing on the computer, download some photos. So it all makes for a cozy interior. If necessary, we can carry jerry cans and additional water on the roof rack. Behind the seats, we have a recovery strap, jacks, tools. With that setup, we have traveled for 5 weeks to Ushuaia and more recently to Peru and Bolivia, living almost exclusively in the truck. In the plans is the addition of a 160-watt solar panel to the roof of the shell. So stay tuned for a future video on that. I hope you found this video interesting. Thank you for watching. Please like and comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Have a great day.